Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Cami. Today I have some exciting things on my desk. Today is the launch of the new annual catalog. I am so excited for what is in this book. There are so many goodies in here. The thing I'm most excited for in this annual catalog has to be this scrapbooking workshop kit with the camping theme. I love it. Weekend adventures. Look at those layouts. I am so excited for that. If you've been around for a while, you know we've been working on our camper van. So we have some fun adventures coming up this summer. So I think that will be perfect. So I need that. But there's a lot of goodies in here that I'm looking forward to. Also, in the new annual catalog, they are keeping the Country Woods. This DSP, Designer Series paper, has been very popular. It's kind of my go-to when I don't know what else to add to a layout or I'm not sure what other papers to bring in. Country Woods goes with everything. So I am so glad to see that that is back into the annual catalog. They are keeping that one around for us. Some things that are leaving that I'm going to be bringing into today's layout is the Gone Fishing and the Ocean Friends. At the time of recording this, these are still available, but they are part of the last chance. So once they're gone, they're gone. But I believe both of them are discounted. So I'll have them linked below. Be sure to get those before they're officially gone. But Country Woods, you will still be able to get your hands on. So today's layout is going to be using Country Woods. We're going to be using these two stamps and thin cuts. And it's going to be a double page layout. So let's go ahead and clear this up. I hope you're as excited for this annual catalog as I am. I'll have that linked below as well if you don't already have a copy. But I love having a physical copy. Obviously you can find all the stuff online too, but I like to have a physical copy that I can, you know, flip through and mark and steal ideas from. You know, they have so many beautiful pieces of art in here. The event that I'm documenting today has quite a few pictures. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to be printing yet, so I am actually going to start by laying out my papers, and then I will have an idea of how many photos I can fit and what, if I need flip-flaps or anything like that. So I am going to be bringing in some white cardstock. So I'm going to start by laying out my papers, and then hopefully the design of the layout will dictate how many photos I can print, because if I just go start printing, I will print them all. I don't have self-control. I am really liking this blue one. It really draws my attention. So I think I want to bring that in, and I just got the new In Colors ink for Secret Sea. And I realized this is not Secret Sea, but look at how nicely those go together. This is, if you're from close to my heart, this is very similar to the Harbor color. So it might be fun to bring in some Secret Sea with my different stamps. I also have some tickets and whatnot from this event. The name of the event was the Dakota Trout Unlimited. So look at that blue. And then it has some of that yellow, and then of course these tickets are yellow. I don't know that I'm going to be bringing these in or not. These I might, since it has the name and where it was and everything, and they're blue, so I might be able to bring those in as well, or maybe put them in some sort of pocket or something. So we're going to start here. These were our cards. I actually don't have the winning card here, but it was the 2 of spades, so maybe I can do something with that. We won a prize with the card raffle, so maybe I can, I don't know though. I don't know, we'll see. I have these set aside here. I don't throw anything away until after the event is scrapbook. I'm picturing having a 12 by 12 piece kind of off center going across both pieces or both sides of the layout, and then I kind of want to do this stair step thing. So I kind of want to have one come out maybe to here, and then another piece coming across this direction. So I'm bringing in my Celebratory Sips. This is a new collection from Stampin' Up. And as you can see, I've already cut into it. But I used it in my last video as well. And it's this very florally bright, obviously drink-themed paper collection. It's in the new catalog. I love it. It's so bright and cheerful. But there was this piece in there. The back is this kind of splotch. I don't know what these are called, but these kind of little watercolor. But the other side is these stars or bursts or however you want to say it. And as you can see, I've already used one of those. So we'll just ignore that. But I'm thinking maybe that might look nice coming across this way and then doing like a strip of that and then having this peek out the bottom as well. Or I could just use a little sliver of this one and have this one come further down and then have this pattern do that little stair step and just use a little bit of that and then have that peek out the bottom too, because my photos are mostly going to be in the middle. So my photo mats would hide a lot of this. And this is mist. This is a close to my heart color. This one is Cloud Cover. That's one of the new in colors. So we have Cloud Cover and Mist, but they go really good together. So I'm thinking of doing something like that, or I could even bring in some grays or tans to go across this. But I have another idea with my stamps. This Ocean Friends one has this dye that creates water waves. So I thought maybe I could kind of do a transition like that and go across. Maybe the top and bottom just to add that extra detail. So I think I'm liking the mist here so that my photos aren't covering up so much of this pattern. I can save that. I also played with the idea of bringing in more wood grain, but it's almost too much wood grain then. It's blue wood grain, gray wood grain. I think I like having a little bit of solids, breaking it up. And then for my photo mats, I could bring in maybe black or something a little darker. I think my husband's shirt was either a charcoal or a black, so that might look nice, kind of accenting that. Or I could even bring in some Harbor since it's a little bit darker than this, and that could be my photo mats. I don't have Secret Sea paper, so that's why I say Harbor, but Secret Sea is available on Stampin' Up. Harbor is an old close to my heart. You're not going to get your hands on that. So I'm going to start cutting some of these down, and then I'll be back to let you know what measurements I decided to go with. Here's what I've come up with. So I cut this 11 by 3. So then this one is 11 by whatever minus 3, 9. And then we're going to leave that 1/2 inch border. And then these two pieces I just cut from the scraps of this one. They're not even equal, but they're going to slide under here. I'll just continue bringing that over. This one is cut 3 by 7, and we're going to tuck that to leave that 1/2 inch. And then over here we have 7 inches tall by 8, and this one, I don't think we need to tuck it, is going here. So we might actually want to slide this one in even more because this is about 1 inch. So then maybe slide that one in 1 inch, but I want just a little bit of that star peeking through. So maybe right about there. And then these pieces are 1.5 by 5. And you could put a whole piece of paper back there, but you won't see what's behind here. So I'm not going to waste all of that. I just trimmed it down to 1.5 to peek out. And maybe we could even bring this over more. This doesn't have to be the same. I'm liking that. And then now we can kind of start playing with some photo mats to see how many photos we can fit on here. I'll look at my pictures and see what I can crop down to squares, what's horizontal, what's vertical, and that'll help me place everything on here. I'm also going to ink around the edges. If I bring in black, I might ink around all of these with black. Otherwise, I'll bring in some Secret C and go around all of the edges with that. This is my main photo, so I like my main photo on the right, and I'm thinking my title down here. So then I did a couple 3x4s as supporting photos, and then I did this little collage on this side, and I'm liking that. But once I got to printing my photos, I don't know that I have this many, and I don't know that I have a 3x3. I think I might have more of these smaller photos, so I may need to change this up a little bit. But I did go ahead and print all of my photos, and I think I'm going to start matting them on the black. This one's already matted, so I'll go ahead and get those adhered down to those and see where this starts going. But I thought these two could go here of us playing these games, but I have some people here and a lot of open space here, so then I thought I could embellish over those, but with it being this close to the edge, I don't think I want an embellishment cluster there. So I might consider bringing these over to this side so that I could have some clusters covering up the people, or it might just have to be because here we're facing kind of in towards the layout, and usually I like to have everything kind of facing in. If I were to have this one over on this side, I'm kind of looking off the layout. That doesn't mean I couldn't have it here looking into this side, and then maybe have another one there. Maybe I could even do something like that. I don't know. But I want my title still. That's kind of why I had everything lined up here. So I'm going to start by matting these. I'm going to start taping my photos down to the black, and then we'll see how many photos and whatnot so we can play around on this side. I've got my photos laid down. I'm thinking I like this. We have, my husband actually auctioned one of his art pieces off here at this banquet. It was a fly fishing banquet, and they had these games that you can play to earn tickets to do the raffles and whatnot. This is one of the raffles. You got these. You purchase the case of flies, and then your name goes into a drawing, and we actually won that one. So here's the fly we won. And then we also won this cabinet, and we got a shirt and a magazine, and we didn't win a whole lot, but we didn't go home empty-handed. They fed us. And then I just thought this tackle box was so cool. Our friend actually made it. It's made out of wood, and then he laser engraved it, and then it comes with the flies inside. We did not win that one, but it was so cool. I had to add it. He made this case as well. It holds your fly rods on the side. It almost looks like a wine bottle rack on the side, but it holds your fly rods. And then these cakes, actually his daughter makes these, and they are so pretty, so cool. So very detailed, and it was delicious. Someone at our table got one and shared it with us. This is what I'm thinking on this side. I'm liking that. I have a lot of open space over here, but I'm thinking my title will go down here, and it might take up about yay much room. And then I could have like a little cluster here, and then a cluster up here as well. And it'd be nice if I could have somewhere for my journaling. So maybe I should consider putting my journaling here, or maybe bump this one over and do some journaling here. I could do it down here, but in this Gone Fishing, there's the dies that cut out a tackle box. So I went ahead and cut that out of some blue and white. I thought I could bring this blue over to this side. So let's see. I could do something like this, or I could cut it out of maybe this mist color. And I have a piece of that scrap. Here's some mist, and I could bring it over, maybe even use the dark side of mist, and then have that kind of come over on this side next to my title. That might look nice. And then I could do an embellishment cluster, a smaller one over here, and maybe even add my journaling. Since this was so large over here, I wouldn't have anywhere to put my journaling. Yeah, that might be too much over here. I don't hate it, but it might be too much. So let's focus on a smaller cluster and maybe my journaling on that side. The cluster could kind of go there. I could do like a circle of the blue to bring that blue over, and then I could stamp some of these. I know for sure I want to do a bunch of these flies, since that's what the whole thing was about. It's a fly fishing. I mean, they talk about regular fishing too, but it's all about fly fishing. So, yeah, let's cut another back piece out of this color. You could just use this, but I think it'll be nice to bring in some of that mist, and it'll help my embellishments pop off, because if I just put these flies on the wood grain, they might get lost. So let's do that. I'm working on my title, and I have this old outlined alphabet from Close to My Heart. So if you have that, that's what I'm using. But it cuts out the outline and then the piece for the inside as well. So you can either do, I cut it out of silver foil paper, which is from Stampin'Up, and I cut it out of black. So you could either do it that way, or I'm thinking of going the other direction and doing black as the outline and silver on the inside. I think it pops off better that way. So I'm going to sort through this. I actually cut them out at the same time, so I just need to peel them apart. So there's and then I need to peel off there we go. Because when you run them through together, you know what I'm saying? So then these I'm just going to throw aside for another project. I used the the mini alphabet dies from Stampin' Up. It comes on one big die, and then you cut out all the letters at once, which is really nice. There's a little sticky on there, and it cuts out the most popular letters multiple times. So there's 2 A's, 2 T's, 2 S's. So I love the mini alphabet die, and that is going to be staying in the annual catalog. So I cut out of that, and so I have reeling in the good times. So I kind of want reeling to fit in, right under this photo. Good times needs to stretch across the bottom here and maybe go onto that pattern paper a little bit. And then maybe bring that down, and then right about here. And I don't know that I love being in black. I feel like it blends in quite a bit. I'm wondering if white would be better. So I might cut some out in white as well. Using my T-square ruler, my Barely art glue, and my reverse tweezers, I got reeling down. So how I find it easiest is to glue down the outline first and then fill it in with the inside pieces. So something tells me my S is upside down. I don't know which way this S is supposed to go. Kind of think that looks right. Yeah, we'll go that way. So One helpful hint I have for you, make sure you're spelling your words right. If you caught one of my more recent videos, you know that I was focused so hard on getting my letters straight and laid down properly that I was not paying attention to the spelling of my words. So thank you for letting me know in the comments that I was misspelling it, but it was already adhered down by the time I saw those comments. So I still need to figure out how I'm going to fix that, because this glue will rip your paper. There is no going back once these are glued down and dried. So that layout, I still don't know how I'm going to resolve that title. It might just stay in my book misspelled forever as a reminder to myself. Make sure to check your spelling. So a little more about the Dakota Trout Unlimited. It's a nonprofit organization that conserves and restores cold water habitats. So they help protect different fish species, and they preserve the freshwater streams, rivers, lakes around South Dakota. They also do different programs and community outreach. For instance, they work with another nonprofit for breast cancer, and they do retreats of fly tying, which sounds so fun to me. So yeah, you're tying these super small, microscopic little flies. Sounds like a fun little hobby to get into. But anyways, it was really neat when my husband was asked to be a part of this fundraiser. I'm really proud of him and the community we've built. Neither of us are extroverts. We like to keep to ourselves. So it's a miracle that we got to know people, and we met them through the brewery in town that he also sets artwork up at. So they're part owners, and he was hanging these flies up, and one of the owners contacted him and said, hey, I'm a part of, Dakota Trout Unlimited. Do you want to be involved? Do you want to be a part of the auction? So it's, once you find your people, it's amazing what opportunities will come about just knowing the right people. It was nice to see him get recognized at the banquet, and people putting a name to a face to a name, and just really exciting to get to know more people and become a part of that little community. So he has another auction next month, so that's exciting. If you guys are interested in one-of-a-kind pieces of artwork and whatnot, I'll leave his website linked down below too. So just take a look at it, check it out. Very proud. I can't remember if I was going to do reeling in the fun or reeling in the good times, but either way, this is looking good, I think. Hopefully I can get in the centered pretty well. It's so fun to be around like-minded people too. Like, even this community of you guys being like-minded in the fact of, in the concept of scrapbooking, it's so fun to find your people, and we have found our people, and we couldn't ask for a better community. So you find your people, you just cling to your people, okay? You guys are my people, and I appreciate you being here for me. And the YouTube and this whole Stampin'Up would not be what it is without my people. So I appreciate you guys watching and sticking around and being here for me. And let me know in the comments below. Have you found your people? I love hearing your guys' comments. It makes me feel like we actually do have that relationship. Let me know down below if you're a part of anything like this. Do you fish? Do you fly fish? Let me know. I'm getting glue everywhere. You don't want to get glue on this foil paper. It does add like a hazy look to it, so you want to be careful with that. Reeling isn't centered with Good Times, and I almost think Good Times should have come over just a smidge. Like, the D could have been over this far. I just cranked up my music, stamped a whole bunch of embellishments, die cut them out, And now I'm in the process of laying them out. So I used the Gone Fishin'. So that is where I got these flies, all the little hooks. The hooks I did out of the foil paper. That's why I brought the foil paper into the title in the first place, was because I knew I wanted my hooks in silver foil. I stamped this one here off of this one. What else did I stamp? Yeah, this one. Where'd that one go? Oh, right behind here. That one's from there. So I got quite a bit off of this set here, Gone Fishin'. And then Close to My Heart had a few. Close to My Heart had a few also. So there's this fishing rod, which is this one, I believe. Yeah, is that one. And then over here, I got this fly from that set. And the net. And I think that's about it from those. So used these three to make my embellishments. And I know I had mentioned bringing in the waves. And it's still a thought. I just don't know where I would want it. And I'm thinking like along here maybe. I don't know. We'll keep that as a thought. But we are going to mess around with the embellishments a little bit. And here's that sticker that I had grabbed at the event. And then I had mentioned having these tags, which this is the wrong blue. And I don't know that I want the yellow. So then I'm wondering if I want to like tuck them behind. I might not even want them. They're almost a brighter shade of the mist, so it is tempting to use them. And I want to bring something up here. It's looking a little bare. So I thought maybe tags sticking out, and I could cut these into tags and have them stick out and then kind of pop my photo up. So I can pull them out. I don't know. We're gonna think on that as well. So we're gonna start playing around with some embellishments. So I added these two tags, and then I added this net over the top of my photo to kind of hide those people that were back there. So added a little cluster there. And then I have the yellow in this sticker here. So I decided to bring out some more of that yellow with my ribbon. So I thought that matched pretty good. And then I wanted to bring those tags over to this side. And I wanted to bring some of that blue over as well, since we didn't have a whole lot of blue over here. So that matches pretty closely to this cardstock here. I could have cut it directly out of that cardstock and brought it over, but I think that works good. And then I added a little cluster down here as well to kind of create that L shape around my photo. I do want to add just a little more gold. I feel like I need a little gold down with this cluster in this area, since I have kind of my 3 points going like that. And I don't know that ribbon would look great down here. If it looked more like fishing line, if it was kind of more of a string than a ribbon, I think I could do like a bundle of it to kind of look like knotted up fishing line. But I still have some of these gold textured adhesive back dots. Try saying that 10 times fast. I still have some of those, and those match pretty closely. So I'm going to add some of these probably around this area. I kind of want it to be more of a triangle, not so much directly. I don't know, maybe I'll add some over here too. I could do kind of a triangle shape like that, and then maybe add a couple to these clusters as well. All right, here's the finished layout. I got those adhesive back dots added, and I just did 3 in a triangular formation in my clusters. So here's one over here. I love those hooks. My tackle box looks kind of messy, but I was referencing my husband's. Just kidding. Kind of. His is a mess too, but I figured they were shaking and kind of overlapping, and I didn't want them to look perfect, so hopefully that looks okay and it doesn't look too busy. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my video. I really appreciate you guys being here. I hope you're excited for the annual catalog as well. I'm going to be placing my order today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love for you to join my little community here if you're not yet subscribed. And until next time, live a life worth scrapping. Bye, guys.